Hi guys. Okay, so I have legitimately tried to shoot this video 4 times. I'm not even kidding. I have like the 4 different takes with me. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like something other goes wrong. Either my camera doesn't work, or my tripod doesn't work, or my audio recorder doesn't work, or the video is not recording. Yes, that's also happened. So I'm so tired. My voice is like really sore, so I'm really sorry. Also, my hair is like a big mess. Like, look at this. What is this? So yeah, this is what happens when you try to film 4 times. So, in case you're new to my channel, I do random vlogs and videos, and I live in New York. Currently, I'm in Delhi visiting. This is where my home is. So, but I'll be back in New York in 1 month. So, this video, as you can see from the title, is 5 random things that I learned while living in New York City. I've been living there for the past 4 months, and these things are not like huge life changing revelations. They're just 5 little things that I've noticed and which are fairly unique to New York. Okay, so number one, the first thing is walking is the crux of the city. If you love walking, you'll absolutely love New York. New York is a walker's city. Everyone walks, everyone loves walking, and even if you hate walking, you'll grow to love it. Because I used to really like walking, but like wouldn't really do much of it in Delhi because there is really nowhere to walk here. There are no side pavements as well, so it's not like I can just walk every single day in Delhi from House Khas to Connaught Place. Whereas New York, especially Manhattan, it is a very walker friendly city. Which comes to my second point of walking shoes. You will see almost every single person in New York wearing sneakers, especially during the summer. In the winter, it's a bit too cold to do that, but during the summers, you will see almost every single person wearing sneakers. Sneakers with jeans, sneakers with dresses, sneakers with shorts, sneakers with everything. You may be a man, you may be a woman, you may be a baby, you're going to be wearing sneakers. So if you're visiting New York for the first time or you're a tourist, whatever it might be, wear sneakers. Don't bother getting anything else. Don't bother getting like fancy shoes. Maybe you can get one pair of clubbing shoes, but trust me when I say this, you're gonna regret it because you're not gonna wear them. I carried so many shoes with me from Delhi, and I didn't end up wearing anything. Even when I went out at night, I wore fancy sneakers. So I really didn't wear anything else. And trust me, I'm not the only one. So it's not like I'm out of place and I'm wearing sneakers to a bar. Of course, there are some places where the dress code is very formal and you can't just walk in sneakers. In those situations, yes, you might want to carry a pair of flats, but really, just don't wear heels. No one wears heels. I haven't seen anyone wear heels in New York. I mean, I was under the impression that it would be street style fashion. There'd be a lot of people just walking every day in heels. Really haven't seen the whole Sex in the City thing. People are constantly living in black clothes in a sweatsuit and in sneakers. So, am I missing something? I don't know. But that's my interpretation of New York. So, now we come to the second thing, Times Square. Stay away from Times Square. If you're a New Yorker and you're watching this video, you know what I mean. No New Yorker goes to Times Square. They just don't. Unless you work there or you live there, you just don't go to Times Square. If you're a tourist and you've heard a lot about Times Square, trust me, you don't need to go there. It's one of those things that might be on your bucket list to look at those billboards across. Just look at it in the pictures. It's really no big deal. But if you really want to go, try to find a window where there's not much traffic. Don't go on the weekend. Ideally go on a weekday. Ideally go in the middle of an afternoon in summertime. So, and by summer I don't mean summer holidays, because then again it's going to be crowded. Basically try to find a window where there are not too many people, because it is agonizing. There is no space to even walk. So this is something that I just randomly learned only when I moved to the city, because before living there, I was one of those tourists who did go to Times Square. And now that I think about it, that was a really dumb choice. Like, I do not know why I did that. But yeah, no, just don't go to Times Square. The city is stunningly beautiful, and there's so many other places you can go to. There's so many nice parks. There you can check out Chelsea, you can check out Meatpacking District, you can check out some cute places in Brooklyn. I can share a list with you guys if you want. Just avoid Times Square. Don't go through that. Number 3, rent. Rent in New York is, it hurts. It actually legitimately hurts. I do not know how people pay that much rent in the city. It's so expensive to live in New York. When I say that Bombay is very, very tough to find accommodation because it's very similar to New York, New York is Bombay but on steroids. The rent in New York is unbelievable. And as soon as you move outside the city's vicinity and you move to something like New Jersey or Long Island, the rents automatically drop. So if you are someone who is trying to save money, look at other boroughs other than Manhattan. So look at Brooklyn, look at New Jersey, look at Long Island, look at all of these other areas around New York City, around Manhattan, I would say. Which might be definitely a fairly long travel, but it's really worth it, especially if you're trying to save money. I personally live in Manhattan because I really wanted to be very close to school, but I made that choice and I did a lot of research. So if you really want to live in Manhattan, be prepared to stand in lines and do a lot of research. You'll have to take tons of appointments, meet brokers, do a lot of online research, and yes, be prepared to shell out some money from your pocket because it's not going to be cheap. Even if you're living in a tiny little studio in Manhattan, it's not going to be cheap. You will have to pay a security deposit. You will have to pay a broker's money thing. If you're hiring a broker, like a broker fees, you'll have to have a guarantor. Now this is something that is, I don't know if it's like that all over the US, but a guarantor fees is so annoying because you need to have a guarantor that can guarantee that you're going to pay your rent, and that guarantor needs to be earning something like 6 times the amount of your rent. What? That makes no sense. That is so expensive because if your rent is XYZ amount, he or she, whoever is guaranteeing your rent payment, has to be making 6 times that amount per month, of course. So that is definitely a fairly big amount. And yeah, that's something that you need to keep in mind, that to live in Manhattan, most places want a guarantor. A guarantor also has to be a US citizen, so keep that in. Okay, so the next thing, I forgot what number it is hustle. New York is all about the hustle. You got to constantly be on the move. It's a very, very, very fast-paced city. But it almost ties in everything that I've said, from walking to constantly just being researching all the time, doing something all the time. New York is about the hustler. If you're someone who's very slow paced, likes to take their time to do things, I'm not sure if New York is for you. I'm not trying to stereotype New Yorkers here, but New York doesn't take shit from anyone. So one more thing, people are not that rude. I feel like New Yorkers have a really bad image that, oh, they're really rude and they won't talk to you. That's not true. New Yorkers are very fast paced. So if you're going to stop someone on the road and just take your time and say, so can you just, so the thing is, I'm going here and then after that I'm going there. So can you just tell me the route? How do you go from here then to there? Or so the thing is, do I take this route or that route? No one has time for that. If you want to go to XYZ location, stop someone on the road and say, excuse me, can you please tell me the location from X to Y? That's it. Just don't go on and on. There's really no need to ask too many questions. And that's why New Yorkers might come across as rude, whereas that's not the case. Okay, now coming back to the hustle point. So New York is all about the hustle. People are so hardworking. It's of course the same everywhere in any city that you go to, but I'm kind of sharing my New York experience, and this is something that I've noticed also because I live alone. So I've realized that I've met so many different sort of people, how hardworking people are and how the city constantly pushes you. I feel that that's an important statement that I made because a lot of cities are like amazing places to live in. Delhi is I absolutely love Delhi. It's an amazing city to live in. But I personally feel that Delhi doesn't push me as a city. I feel it to be just very chill, like, or maybe that's just me, but I'm sure it's like not like that for someone else. But my personal experience of Delhi has been very relaxed, and I feel like coming to New York, I've really pushed myself more, and I'm really thankful for that. Which brings me to my last and final point. I don't know if this is point number 5 or point number 6, but I'll just call it 5. Is that New York makes you go out of the house. Now, this is a very random point, and you will probably think, how does this make sense? Like any other city does that. But I think one thing that I've learned from New York is that you have to get out of the house. No matter what you do, you can have all the delivery services of the world, but you have to get out of the house. The city can really depress you because it's very lonely, especially if you're living alone. New York, just like any other city, perhaps like Bombay, is a very fast-paced city. And if you don't get out of the house and meet people and make the effort to do something, you will not do anything. You'll just be stuck because the city would be too overwhelming for you. And this has been my personal experience. I might be completely wrong, so please don't quote me on it, but this is my experience, that the city can be extremely overwhelming, and you have to make a constant effort to actually put yourself out there. I think that's a very valuable lesson that I learned, especially this year, that if I want to get something done, I have to get it done. I can't just sit at home and be like, oh, why is this not happening? It won't happen if I don't actually go out and do it. Similarly, when it comes to vlogging, I never really started vlogging in Delhi, and I really don't think I would have if I wouldn't have shifted to New York, because the space in itself is so positive. I am what I think. New York as a city pushed me to vlog because everyone is doing something creative. Everyone is constantly hustling. And I feel like I wouldn't have actually started vlogging, or I wouldn't have started my channel if I didn't see so much positivity around me and if I didn't see so many people working. So I think these are just 5 random things, completely random things that I learned in New York City in my 1 semester here, which is about 4 months. So that's it for now. I will see you in the next video, and I'm really sorry for not completing Vlogmas on time. I am going to be uploading all these videos, and I do plan to get them done with before the year ends. I just have 1 more Vlogmas video left, and then we'll be back on track. So I'm really excited, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!